One of the things that we need to talk about here that's important is the idea of using a CRM for your business, right? And that's probably like one of the biggest things that we see customers not doing, or if they are doing it, they're not doing it efficiently, right? Or effectively. Or maybe they don't even know what a CRM is. And so tell us a little bit about the CRM that Mindhyv has, the software that we provide, the stuff that we have that helps customers get their business up and running more efficiently and able to just make things happen at a higher level than what they would normally be doing without it.
Yeah, Drew, what I really love about the Mindhyv marketing SaaS that we've developed and for our CRM is that for service-based businesses, they're able to take, and you can actually see probably 34% increase in productivity with like huge differences of following like email, your different data entry, those things that are kind of really task oriented and difficult for you to do. We take care of that with our system to kind of take that off of our client's plate. And, having a 34% increase in productivity is huge when you're talking about these different service industries.
Yeah, 34% is crazy, right? And that's when you're saying 34%, are you talking like that's an increase in the number of clients that they're acquiring? What are you saying with that number?
Well, I think it's with that number, it's kind of overall kind of the different areas that we work in. So, email or task reminders or follow-ups with clients. One big thing is Google reviews. If you have Google reviews, it really brings in more customers. In our system, you're able to automate text messages, emails, things like that to make sure you're able to see this increase in your Google as people give you Google feedback and things like that. And it really does give you that customer relationship to where when other people are looking for you, it gives you that validity of your business. So we're seeing, increase in sales because of this. We're seeing increase in customer feedback, all of this as a whole using the Mindhyv marketing system.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I was reading up on some statistics the other day, a study that was done on businesses that were using CRMs versus businesses that weren't, right? And what they found was that just in the use of a CRM, the customer retention rate through the funnels that a CRM allows you to manage jumps to, and this is an insane number, it's 95%. It can go all the way up to a 95% customer retention just because the CRM enables you to track and manage those relationships so much more effectively than if you're doing something like, say, on like an Excel sheet or, handwritten notes. So it's crazy to me to think that there are businesses out there that aren't actually even using this. Like it doesn't even matter what you're in. It could be sales or services. It doesn't matter. The CRM platform helps our customers just excel tremendously when it comes to the management of their clients. And that's on top of retaining, that's also acquiring those clients, right? Because when we look at things like Google Ads or Google Tags, Metapixel, those things get incorporated directly into the Mindhyv CRM, right? So not only are you able to manage your customers in terms of where they are along your funnels, right? And that's if customers are even, or if businesses are even using the funnels properly. But with our system, you can set those all up to just align that customer journey with your business perfectly. But when you take those Google tags or the metapixels or the ads, you can track that directly in our system. And so what that enables you to do is now not only are you reaching more people through your ads or your SEO or the customer journey that we set up for our clients, but now those get directly inputted into the platform. And we also build in automations that we pair with artificial intelligence that enables you to do these types of repetitive tasks very easily through our platform. And that is what helps customers keep the clients that they have or gain new clients more effectively. Is this something that I know that you manage clients and have done a lot of stuff with marketing with different folks. Like, is this something that you have seen a drastic change since we started to have our CRM available to our customers?
Yeah, Drew, one of the biggest things I always hear when we have these conversations with customers is, they're like, Chad, without a CRM, we're working on fragmented data. Once we started using Mindhyv marketing, the bits of information are not spread across all these different platforms anymore. We have one login through your site, and we can go in and see everything, like you were saying, from Google ads to Facebook ads, being able to see customer reviews, all of these things built into one, and even being able to text your clients and your customers and your potential customers and follow up on various appointments they've made and things like that. It really does hit home for our clients, and it gives them an opportunity to have like a complete view of their customer and the overall customer journey.
Yeah, so you were just saying that it's an all-in-one kind of platform. So you're saying that the customers, one of the biggest things that the customers have seen is that they have this place where they can go in and see text messages. Does this include like phone calls and things like Instagram messages, Facebook messages? Can they do that within the platform?
They can do, if they want to do it in their business, they can do it with Mindhyv Marketing. Our SaaS platform is built for the everyday client that is tired of trying to manage all of these different aspects and being all over the place. And it's really amazing how we've been able to build this system to make it, it's a small investment to be able to make their clients accept them and be able to, give them those recommendations even more, just by being able to do everything from, like you said, the Facebook messages, Instagram messages, WhatsApp, being able to get Google reviews, doing Google My Business to make sure you show up on Google correctly, because having that validation that you're there, take yourself for granted. If you go on Google and you look something up, say you look up coffee shop, and you see something that has no picture, it doesn't really have it only has the address, there's no customer ratings on there, you're going to tend to go away from that one. And a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people are just running their business and they forget about the small things that they even do as a consumer to whatever they're trying to go purchase. Able to use the Mindhyv system, it really does help, get that growth in their business.
Yeah, and you were saying it's a small investment, right? So that's part, I think most business owners, I know I will key in on that. Like, what is the investment ROI when it comes to this? Like, what are you seeing typically when it comes to whether it's using the platform or Google ads or the SEO services that Mindhyv offers? Like, what do your customers typically see in terms of an ROI? Are we talking 20% increase? I mean, what are we talking here?
I would say probably 20% is really close to what we're seeing. But for what our packages offer and being able to have that discovery call with us, I think our clients or our potential clients could see that whatever they're already paying into these other systems, usually they have somebody running their website, they have somebody that's running their ads, they have somebody that's doing these various systems as far as being able to message clients. Once they take all of those different things, it comes out probably to the same or even cheaper to use Mindhyv Marketing. And that's why I really encourage people to just jump on a discovery call, because if we're not right to work with you, we'll let you know. I think that's one of the biggest things I see today is it's a very salesy industry, and instead of us being salesy, I want to be where we're helping our clients, our potential clients. I want to be able to coach them and get to their overall revenue growth goals and things like that without trying to just sell them on the next thing. So if they're not the right fit, they're not the right fit, but we would still love to talk to potential clients and make sure we can at least part with some information to them.
Yeah, I think one of the things that businesses fail to understand is that the amount of administrative overhead that is involved with just the mundane tasks. Like I was saying earlier, it's if you're tracking customers on an Excel sheet or on a notepad or sticky note, right? That's a repetitive task that you're taking time to do. And so I think when we start to look at, a lot of times we look at our and say, okay, well, when I spent this much money on this particular platform or this particular thing or service, how much money did I make in return? Well, you also have to take into consideration the amount of time and effort and the amount of waste that you saved by switching to a platform that does things more effectively, right? And so with what you're saying is when a customer gets onto the platform, yes, it's an all-in-one platform, and that saves the time because you're not going to all these different, you're not using a chat application or a project management application to try to track all this and then having emails spread all over the place, right? And then having to have accounts. What you have is a centralized spot for all the employees or whoever's using the platform to be able to go see the entire holistic customer picture. right? And then on top of that, you're also providing metrics, right? I'm guessing that the platform provides some sort of a metric for businesses to see where their customers are or what the return is on the engagement with that customer. So is that something that's important and something that's provided in the platform?
I think so. And within the platform, we have a overall system that you can track your potential client all the way through your customer's journey or your funnel to be successful. And you can see your success rate. So ad campaign success rates, how you're doing on your sales calls. You can even record your sales calls and use them as training, to be able to have a better closing rate or whatever it is. We have a built-in system that shows you those metrics in a really clean UI to be able to have that interactive experience. And while we're talking about the customer experience, at Mindhyv Marketing, we give you a 360 view of each customer, which allows you to tailor your interactions and specific needs. SuperOffice reported that 86% of customers are willing to pay more for a better customer experience. So, by using our platform, you're able to put everything into one and track everything, from the ad all the way through that customer experience, which, not our numbers. This is reported by SuperOffice. It's reported that 86% of those customers are willing to pay more for better customer experience. So, when you're thinking about that in your business, you're not just having that one person come to your service industry. They're going to come back and they're going to tell their friends about it because they had a great overall experience.
Yeah, and I think I've been doing IT service management for almost 15 years now, and I think the number one thing that we ran into an issue with was that customer communication, right? And when we found is, or at least what I found was over that time, when you don't communicate effectively or regularly with a client or a customer, that the dissatisfaction rate goes through the roof, right? And you may be providing the best service possible. You may have, in my case, doing the best you could in terms of IT service for whatever the problem or issue was. But because you didn't communicate with the customer, that became an issue. And it sounds like the Mindhyv platform helps solve a lot of that because it consolidates all of that into one area so that you have all of those things in one spot. And so now you don't have to go searching and look for when is the right time to communicate with this customer because the platform helps you with that. So
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Sorry, Drew, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but one of the big things we see is it saves in man hours at your business. You're not having somebody having to go to multiple different systems, track multiple different spreadsheets. These and how things have been done without this SaaS that we have built. Things have been done to where it leads to miscommunication, duplicated efforts, and a disjointed customer experience. Let's not forget how challenging it is to gather and analyze data manually. It's time consuming and prone to errors, which means you might miss on the valuable insights that your business needs to grow. And that's why I'm so passionate about, Mindhyv Marketing, because I'm ready to help these clients.
So talk to me a little bit about the AI integrations that we see in the Mindhyv platform. What do those do for us? What can you do with AI? I know AI is a big thing these days, and it seems like if you're not using AI, it seems like your business is actually probably lagging behind significantly. I think, in fact, there was an article that was talking about that a few weeks ago that was saying if you're not already integrating AI into your platform, you are so far behind the curve that you better get on it now. With the platform that Mindhyv provides, what kind of AI integrations are we talking about here? Is it just AI helping you make decisions, or what is it doing for you, and how does that help businesses in terms of man hours and cost, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we're actually able to integrate AI into almost every aspect of your business besides you actually being there to talk to your customer. Being able to set up those various funnels through the phone, whether it's text messaging or somebody calls and you can't answer. We're able to take artificial intelligence and have that give the correct answers to your potential clients or customers that they need to not go call somebody else. And through our system, after we make these funnels for, let's say it's a text automation, once they go through this customer experience and they have a specific question and AI answers it, you're able to go in and see this whole conversation and follow up with that customer or client.
So essentially what this is doing is acting like another person in your business, and then also tracking the things that are going on in between this AI and the client, so that when an actual person goes back to engage with the customer, they have more data. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly it. And it's a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week employee when you use AI, because they don't need a break. They're always there. So, sometimes you have customers that want to call and leave a message at 9 o'clock at night and you've been closed for a few hours. AI is there and they can really kind of communicate with that customer intelligently about your business. And it's just so amazing where technology is taking us. And I'm really excited to see kind of how it leaps us into that growth for our clients.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome, especially in terms of like saving time and then not losing the customers, right? So potential customers that get lost, a lot of times, I know I've seen it where it's because we weren't able to capture the data, right? Or we weren't able to capture who that person was and what they needed properly, and then go back and then be able to provide the service or product that they wanted and desired. So that's awesome. So does this integrate in chat? I know you said you can integrate just about everything, but what are you seeing clients mostly use this with? Is it chat? Is it going to be on like phone calls? What are you mostly seeing at this point? And what would you recommend businesses go and use AI for?
Yeah, right now we're seeing a lot with the text messaging or messaging between whatever platform their business is on, but also those phone calls, being able to communicate with their clients and have AI answer questions or give certain information about location and where they're at. It really does help. But, one thing that's great is we're always evolving. Even if we have a client that we're working with and we see a potential spot, I'm sure our team is able to make that happen. We have a dedicated team, and I'm not trying to talk bad about other agents or anything, but a lot of times you have a really small team that kind of runs the show. At Mindhyv Marketing, we have already, 19 employees. We have a whole dev team. We have, people that are there for design and development and integration. So we're able to give you a holistic view of your business from design to how everything is put together with your developers. And then we actually do the overall customer experience where you work directly with a project client manager and being able to get you through all these questions that you do have.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what does it look like when a client wants to work with Mindhyv? How does that process kind of look? And I guess what's the benefit of going? You've already talked about a lot of it, but explain to me why I would pick Mindhyv over something else maybe.
I think the reason to go with Mindhyv is like I was saying before, we're not going to force you into something that doesn't work for your business. We want to make the perfect scenario for your business. And then when you sign up or when you start going through this whole process, you have a project client manager, most likely to be myself, that walks you through everything. So we find out what your pain points are for your business, where you want to grow, what you need, where your low points are, where your high points are. And then we build this system so we pick up those low points and we maintain those high points and get you more revenue, more customers, and things like that. And then I'm there with you the whole way through. So if it's working with our developers, I'm able to come up with a whole project management system for your business, and I coordinate with our team to get all your questions answered. And then we have bi-weekly or monthly follow-up calls to be able to go over all the analytics of Google Ads, Google My Business, Facebook ads, how your business is doing with what we're managing for you, and how we can fix, we can answer whatever questions you may have and keep your business on track. And a lot of people we do SEO as well, and they look to have, they want to see immediate feedback. SEO is one of those long-term things, and if you're not doing it correctly now, you're not going to see those results instantly. It's going to take 4 to 6 months, and that's what I'm here for, is to kind of walk you through those those tough questions that you may not have the answers to, but we're there to help you.
Yeah, it's interesting that you talked about SEO. I remember I started a site up a long time ago and thought I had SEO nailed down until I started to actually learn about it. And it turns out the way that I was doing it was just not right. And there's reasons that I wasn't getting organic traffic or wasn't showing up on the top of the list for these keyword searches, right? And it ended up actually, I blew out the domain by not doing it correctly, because the way that Google does its crawling and indexing, I just wasn't doing it right. And so because it was for so long that I had incorrectly done SEO, I ended up having to scrap that whole thing. So when you're talking about doing SEO for a client, it's important that they get it set up right away correctly the first time. I think that's a huge piece, right? And I think where a lot of perhaps get misled is thinking that SEO is the focus when they're first starting up in their marketing journey, right? And I think that Mindhyv, we take a different approach, right? Instead of going SEO right off the bat, what we do is we do a bit of a balance between that based off of the needs that you have and the current site that you have or where you're starting. We balance it with ads. And what's nice about ads is you're seeing a massive increase very quickly in terms of traffic to your site, right? And then if you pair that with the SEO, properly done SEO, then while the indexing is taking place, you've been actually generating customers via your online presence rather than through the ads, rather than relying on your SEO to build up over the course of 4 to 6 months, right? That's because that's about the average it takes to get SEO up and running. But right away, you're seeing benefits just from some advertisements. I know our team has seen 900%, and that's not an exaggeration, increases in conversion rates just by doing properly done Google ads. And I think that the Mindhyv team managing those ads does a fantastic job. And you were talking about these monthly reports and the engagements with the project managers that are dedicated to each individual client, right? So with Mindhyv, you don't get some random person working on your project. You have a dedicated individual for the life of the time that you're there, right? Or that you're using Mindhyv. And so what I think is really awesome is that with those reports, and I'm not talking bad about any other agencies, and I'm sure other places probably do this too, but with Mindhyv, there's a business consulting piece that happens with that, right? It's not, hey, here's the report, and what would you like to do? It is, hey, here's the report based off of the goals that you and I have discussed. Here's what we're seeing, and here's what we recommend you should do. And then we let the customer make the decision on what's the best course of action. But that insight that the Mindhyv team is providing is critical, because a lot of businesses just don't have the time or the manpower to have a marketing team on their side. And so it's a disservice to the client to not provide that insight to them and those recommendations, right? And I think that Mindhyv does a great job with that. With your teams that you've been managing, what does that kind of look like in terms of when you have that engagement with a customer? Like if you have a report coming out, what are you looking for and how do you engage with them?
Yeah, so when I get a report from our team that I'm about to go have a follow-up meeting with one of our clients, what I'm doing is I'm looking and seeing if we're meeting those goals that we originally discussed, that's gonna help their business. So I'm looking at those metrics. I'm looking at how this A/B testing for ads is going, which is huge, to make sure that, one ad that we think might really go off might not be the one that's right for them. It might be ad B that's doing way better. So we're gonna start looking at, that customer avatar for our client that really brings that experience. And that's what I love about having those conversations with the client, is looking at our metrics and how it lines up with their goals. And then, sometimes it hurts. It's like, hey, this month we're on the right track, but we're missing, this. So I'm able to talk to the client about how they can shift things, how they can give us, maybe it's some media that we need for the ad to do better. Maybe it's getting more of those Google reviews. It really is those things that, as time goes and you see those metrics going up, it's exciting to see for the customer and the client that their revenue is going up. A lot of times, people get into the business because they love one aspect of it and they don't think about the other aspects of the business. And at Mindhyv, that's why we're there. We're there to kind of put that passion back in why you started whatever business you're doing. And we're taking that hard part away from you and we're doing it, and then we're showing you the analytics of, why you should keep using Mindhyv because you're getting a great ROI on it.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, that's awesome that you say that, because it happens, right? You start a business, you're excited about doing whatever it is that you're doing, and then like the reality of running all of these aspects of the business kind of kicks in, and you start to realize, holy cow, there's so many things that I need to make decisions on, and it becomes difficult to make those decisions without the data behind it, right? And so I think that with the Mindhyv team, what you guys provide is fantastic, especially through the Mindhyv CRM. And so with the Mindhyv CRM, do they get their own, when they log in, is it their own CRM, or is it something that's managed? I mean, is it something that they're combined with other companies, or is it their own thing? Like, do they get their own piece of the platform? How does that work?
Yeah, so they get their own piece. That's a really good point. Is once you go to our website and then they log in to our system, it's their CRM. And a lot of people say CRM, it's just kind of keeping contacts in a database. It really is so much more, because you want to manage that relationship. You know what I mean? So they're able to really build out their perfect dashboard that fits their business. Because a health spa might be totally different than a gym. So the metrics are going to be different, and how they build out their dashboard, they can log in and see at any time what's going on. And then, of course, if they have any questions, that's why the Mindhyv marketing team is there, is to answer those questions. It's not like, well, let me send an email and a few days later we'll get back. No, our team, we have a big enough team to be able to answer your questions as they come in, because your business is important. And if your business is important, it's important to us. We want to bring you into the Mindhyv family. We don't want you to just be another client of ours.
So interesting, you said gym versus a spa. So what kind of clients would benefit from using, what kind of businesses would benefit from using the Mindhyv CRM platform? Is it just things like gyms? I mean, what are we talking in terms of who can use this?
I would say anybody should be using this. Anybody that owns a business can and should be using this. I mean, inside of Mindhyv marketing, we're able to build out a website. A lot of times people don't even think about that portion. They think, oh, I just got a website. No, if you don't have the right customer journey on a website, for instance, you're not going to get those conversions. So anything that you have a business for, Mindhyv marketing can help you. And it doesn't matter if you've been established or if you're a just up and coming business. We're able to help you grow. And that's what I love about it is, you could have 20 employees or you could have 1,000 employees. Mindhyv marketing is there to help you grow, and we can help you.
So I think it's a pretty well understood fact or opinion that a lot of money for companies, in order for them to be successful, has to be geared towards marketing. And that can be something that drives people away from attempting to do online marketing or have a digital presence or have a team helping to do this sort of thing. In terms of cost, and maybe not just specific numbers, because I know those things can vary, but in terms of cost, is the cost of marketing worth it? And if it is worth it, where does Mindhyv stand in terms of budgeting for businesses, both small and large?
I'll go with your first question first. The potential benefits in terms of growth and efficiency are just too hard to ignore. Everybody wants their business to grow. And if you're not doing the proper things with marketing and CRM, then you're just not going to grow. We are able to build our packages from, those that have the tightest budgets, and then we're able to do client or customized packages for those that need them because their business is growing and doing so well. So we're able to kind of be as low as like $250, for one of our packages to be able to get, a few items on our CRM package at Mindhyv Marketing in our SaaS. We're able to build you a package, that fits your business. And that's what I like about, one of the reasons kind of we got into it is to be able to help the businesses that might not have a ton of money to throw into marketing and the things that they need right now. But as they grow, we're there to grow with them.
So when you're setting up these packages for businesses, how are you going about that? Is it hey, this is just the cookie cutter, cut and dry type of thing? Or is your team working with the client to determine how to move them forward in terms of their business?
So I think we have both. We do have the cookie cutter package, and that kind of helps people. A lot of times when I talk to clients, they don't know what they need. They don't know what they want. So they start looking at this package, and it's something they're able to jump in, see where they're at, and then use that system. Or during our conversation, it could be, hey, you know what? I think by our conversation, we need to set up a total customized service for your business. And we can do that too. We're really there, like I said earlier, we're really there for the client to be successful. And so if it's one of the packages we already have arranged, that's great. If it's not, and we need to build something, customized just for this client, we'll do that.
So what you're doing is having a conversation to discuss their business goals, what their product is like, getting an understanding of their business in order to develop the proper marketing strategy so that their company can grow from there, right? And the idea being that if they're successful, you're successful.
That's exactly it. And two, I like to put this out there because, what we do for our clients is so important and so important to them that we only take a few clients a month. And then there's been months that we haven't taken any clients. We haven't, been able to even book a meeting because we want to make sure that our team is satisfying the needs of our current clients. So, just because we have that phone call, there might be a time that, during that discovery call that your business just isn't a right fit for us at that time, because of numbers. So, that's why it's really important to get on to see where your business fits in and how we can help you. And if we can't, how we can kind of give you advice on where your business can be so we can help you in the future.
So when it comes to that, right, if it's not something that we can necessarily do for a client, let's say it's, the client has needs that are not aligned with the things that we either can do. Let me back that one up. So when there's a time that a client is not going to be the right fit for Mindhyv, but they still want to go ahead and use the CRM system and platform, is that something that we can still do? Is that something that we have to customize for them? Or even if it is something that we have to customize for them, is that something that we provide solely as a service?
No, we're able to totally, and that's a great point because we're totally able to provide that as a service, and they're able to get into our software as a system and kind of, build it out themselves inside of our software. So, even if we're not managing it for them, they're able to go in and manage it themselves instead of having those 5 or 6 different apps that they would have to go in normally. So that's a really good point that it might be on that discovery call that, hey, right now I don't think that customized and us managing your service right now, but we're able to build this package that they're able to still log into, see their metrics, and they still, of course, can always reach out and ask questions as they need.
So your team's able to provide customized service within the SaaS platform, regardless of whether or not they're getting something developed from like a website or Google Ads perspective.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's a total client relationship management system for your business, and they could have one person dedicated one employee from their business come in, get trained up on our service and just run that themselves. So
does Mindhyv provide training for this then?
I think we could definitely walk them through what they need to make sure they're successful.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So let's jump into Google Ads then. So with Google Ads, first off, what are they?
Google Ads are an amazing piece because, when you go on Google and you search something, if you're like me, you're only going to see those top 3 or 4 things. So Google Ads can be anything that's the very top search result, or it can be kind of on the side in that side panel of Google. And that puts your business right in front of eyes that are searching for these keywords. So we do keyword research with your business to make sure that, you're getting the right customers or the right potential customers that are looking for you on Google. And, it really is seeing a return on investment when you have the proper keyword research done for your business.
So when it comes to Google Ads, I think one of the awesome things about it is that when you pair it in with like Google Tag Manager and you have these trackers that we build into your site, that when a customer comes in and shows some sort of interest in your product or service, that we can have it retargeted right off the bat. Even if they go away from your site, And it's like seeing those ads where you've been scrolling through some sort of social media and you land on an ad for just a little bit too long. And next thing you know, that ad is popping up everywhere. That's what we do. We provide that service to our clients so that they are able to retarget customers that have high potentiality. So that's an amazing thing to have in terms of being able to get clients who may have been on the verge of purchasing that product or service and just for whatever reason didn't follow through. So I think that's one of the great things about the Google Ads. Now, in terms of Mindhyv managing that, how do we go about doing that with the client? Is there A/B testing that occurs? Is there like you said, you had mentioned keyword research. What does that look like? And then what does that look like in terms of cost?
So, and that's one of those things that we build in for the customer is being able to talk about their business, go back to our team, our marketing team, and being able to make sure that we have the right keyword for your business that your potential clients are actually looking for. Making sure that you have the right conversion rate is huge. So like you said, A/B testing is a thing we do, but also being able to look at how the ad performs for your business is, so huge and important for your business. So we're able to tailor that because, it depends on how much. If you're spending $5,000 on ads themselves, it's going to cost difference for us to manage that than if you're doing $2,000. So we talk you through this scenario and where we need to be for your business.
So in terms of the Google Ads, when you start combining all of these services together, right? We were talking about earlier the use of a CRM increasing customer retention by up to 95% based on some studies that have been out there, right? Versus not using a CRM, right? Customer acquisition up 30%. When we add that in with Google Ads, which has been seen to boost sales as high as 40% or more, depending on how well those ads are structured, which the Mindhyv team meticulously does. When then you add in Google tags and meta pixels, you start combining all of these percentages together, right? When you're looking at it across from a holistic perspective, and you begin to see that a business who uses all of these things in combination with each other really has the opportunity to grow tremendously. And so that's one of the things that I think Mindhyv is great at is it's not just, hey, we're going to build you a website and just leave it there. We work with the client to make sure that from a holistic perspective, all the things in combination with each other, the ads, the meta pixels, the Google Tag Managers, the Google My Business, the CRM, and we incorporate AI into that to build in efficiencies. All of those things combined just drastically improve how a business functions and the amount of sales and services they're able to do. And I think that's an amazing thing, especially when you've got a team that has dedicated project managers for each individual client. And behind that project manager is an entire operations team from anything from developers to designers to content creators that are able to take the entire product for marketing and just really boost it for customer. And so I think that's an amazing thing that Mindhyv is doing right now. And then the other piece to that too, like you were mentioning, is Mindhyv's able to really work within the budget of any kind of business. I mean, I know we have clients from anywhere from just starting up and needed a website to just get started and worked on a very small budget to customers who are spending a lot of money on a monthly basis to get marketing done, right? Mindhyv is able to do the entire spectrum there of those types of clients. And I think the beautiful part about it is that it's not just one of these agencies that you see where, again, set it and forget it. It's a constant interaction, because that's one of the things we truly strive for, is to ensure that not only are you being successful, but that we are providing the services and the consultations behind the marketing, right? And this helps your business grow tremendously, right? And I know that we've had clients in the past where they've had a product and sometimes it just takes a third person looking in, right? And we've said, oh my goodness, your product is amazing. And it would be so much more amazing if you did X, Y, and Z. I know we had a customer where the product that they were doing, they were just selling the product, but there was other pieces to that where it involved an application that they could develop that really just would have boosted their through the roof in their revenue. And so the ROI on the marketing behind that was tremendous. And so I think that that's one of the things that Mindhyv really is commendable for, is that it's not just, hey, we're here to just run things and manage it in the background. We engage with the customer to make sure that their business is growing effectively.
One good thing, kind of what you were just saying about everything, is there are a lot of numbers within inside of, marketing and running your business. And a lot of those numbers can be confusing. And that's why we do have project managers that can interpret those numbers for your business. So you're just looking at that bottom line number and knowing that you're profitable. But we're here to kind of interpret all the confusing stuff for you, because sometimes numbers and percentages and all of these Facebook ads and things or Google ads can be so confusing. That's why you have that bi-weekly or monthly follow-up with our project manager, so they can translate that into real information and real knowledge that you can take back to your business.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right there. The amount of things that you have to go manage from a marketing perspective, it can be daunting. And for a lot of businesses, they just can't afford to have their own marketing team. There's a lot of overhead, there's a lot of administrative cost to that, not to mention training and the expertise that goes into having a team that can do efficient and effective marketing for you. I think what's great about Mindhyv is you're getting a massive team that's able to do all of these things, manage your business profiles on all your social medias, manage your website, manage your ads, manage your tags, manage your blogs, right? Handle SEO in a very effective manner. And then on top of that, help you with your CRM and set that up so that you are reducing the amount of time you're spending with trying to track all these things that are involved with gaining and retaining clients. And I think having the massive team that Mindhyv has is fantastic. And from a cost perspective, it's pennies on the dollar compared to having to have something built in for you at your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can your business grow without marketing or Google ads and these things? Yes, it can. There's great businesses that do amazing, but think about the exponential growth that it could have been, marketing was done correctly. And I say that because, unfortunately, there's so many different people out there offering marketing services, and they're not always done correctly. And that's where we take pride in Mindhyv marketing, is to make sure we're doing things correctly that gets your business the eyeballs that get them into become, recurring customers, that, you see that recurring income for a customer just skyrocket because you are that total customer relationship management through our software.
Yeah, one of the things I always like to say is, imagine if the kid running the lemonade stand ran Google ads.
Yeah.
So, it's one of the things you can't afford to not do it these days. You can't afford to not run ads. You can't afford to not have a CRM. You're missing out on so much potential business that it's crazy. And it's not a surprise when a lot of businesses, they say it's 5 years before, the average lifespan of a business is about 5 years before it fails. And arguably the reason is they don't have proper management of their marketing and of their customer relationships.
Yep. And coaching, and that's one huge thing, like you've said before, throughout this podcast, is we're able to coach you because we've seen a business like yours. We've had a client that's been successful that is in your industry, and we can coach you on maybe things that we see that you could tweak and see a 20% increase in sales, or you could see a 35% increase in customer relationships.
Yeah, the ROI on well-managed Google ads is astounding. I mean, I think, like I said at the beginning of this, we've had customers with 900% ROAS, 900% ROAS, and that's amazing. And we've also had customers that we've taken on where previous management of their ads was not great, and we went in and tailored it to the product and to the company and to the actual clientele that they were marketing towards. And the loss in sales that they had from having poorly managed Google ads disappeared. And in fact, they were able to just drastically increase. I mean, I've seen businesses go from nearly failing to like running massive revenues because they were able to change up how they did their marketing in terms of their Google ads and their SEO. And so I think that's one of the great things that Mindhyv does, is it's either starting you off correctly or fixing what was not there, right?
Yeah, and it really breaks my heart when I get on a call with a potential client and they don't end up going with us because, oh, I've tried marketing before and it didn't work. I've tried that. I tried these marketers and it just didn't work. And I know, I'm a little proud and have that pride in Mindhyv marketing that I know we can help them, but they've been, hurt by other companies that weren't doing the right things. And it really, it gets me because I'm like, no, we could help this business.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen it too, right? Businesses that don't trust the marketing side of things because of being burned, and it really does. And then what ends up happening is they don't market at all, or they try to take it on themselves, and because the expertise isn't there, or there's so much to do, it falls by the wayside because business is business. Business takes a lot of time and effort. Like, we want to take that administrative overhead for the marketing side off your plate. We want to take the customer relationship management stuff, the CRM stuff that you would do manually, and we want to make that automated to give you back time. That's the goal, right? The more time that we can give you back, the better you can run your business and focus on things that are actual operations or relationships with different customers from a face-to-face perspective or employee stuff. Whatever it is that you need to do for your business, we give that time back to you in terms of automation. And that's, I think, the great thing about AI and this platform that Mindhyv has is you're buying back time, and on top of buying it back, you're getting a huge ROI for that.
And that is one thing that when we have those follow-up calls with clients and they're like, you know what? This weekend I took off, the first weekend in a long time, and I went on a small mini vacation with my family, and we just hung out, and I didn't have to worry about it because I knew that Mindhyv marketing software was going to be there for the CRM portion. It gives you back that time of, that goal that you had when you originally started the business. It gives you those goals back. Absolutely.
So in terms of what Mindhyv marketing can do, what services, just a list, what things can Mindhyv marketing do for a business, both small and large?
I mean, we can do anything from set up a phone number for your business that is able to be tracked. You're able to text from it. You're able to tie different metrics to your customer. You're able to take your customers through a whole funnel and follow-up system. So you're making sure that you're, nurturing that relationship as they come to your business. You're able to work with your Facebook ads, your Google ads. Let's see, what else is out there? You can actually integrate your email with our software. You're able to kind of see a whole dashboard like we talked about before, of being able to see a holistic view of everything within this system. There's so many pieces of our software. Our developers kind of went crazy and gave everything that you could ask for inside of our system. And if there's something you want to do, we can do it.
So what about from like the website ad management development side of things? What can Mindhyv provide there?
Yep. So we can develop websites for you. We can fix websites for you. A lot of times, we actually just had one customer that aesthetically their website looked amazing, but it wasn't the right customer journey. There was no call to action on that website. Our developers went through using that same theme, rebuilt this site, and it's absolutely crushing it now. Taking it from something that was doing okay, but it's those minor tweaks that can really up that ROI for your business. And we're able to do that with our developers and marketing team.
Yeah. So back to the customer journey. So customer journey is super important. And I think what Mindhyv does is it takes into consideration that whole journey. And that's the piece that is important. It's understanding, and if people don't quite understand what the customer journey is, we're talking about this path that a customer goes through, and it's typically defined as like a map almost. So there's like an awareness piece, there's this consideration for the product or service, then it goes into the purchase of it, and then there's actual execution of the service, and then there's this loyalty aspect that comes afterwards. How many times have you looked at a product and came this close to buying it and just didn't get there because something wasn't right with that customer journey, right? I can't tell you how many products I've almost purchased, right? But what Mindhyv does is it gets that journey just right. It brings the customer all the way through that awareness, consideration, purchase process digitally, and effectively. So when Mindhyv is going to look at doing ads, that's the beginning of that journey. And then behind that is your website and how that website flows and how it's designed, the aesthetics of it, and then how you actually get those actionable clicks to buy through or make the appointment, right? And then that's the other piece to this, right? Is the CRM fills the gap where it may have not been perfect for that particular customer. So you may have a customer who got 50% of through filling out the form, but just never filled it all the way out. That's a potential client. And so those are things that you can track with Mindhyv's system is, oh my goodness, we had, 50 clients get 75% through this form. Well, a couple of things here. One, now I have 75 clients I get to follow up on. Two, I also know that there's some reason why they didn't get all the way through that form. Let me figure out with the Mindhyv team what we need to change or what we need to implement in order to make that form get filled all the way out or that purchase button clicked, right? And so that's a huge aspect of what we provide is those, again, that consultation in terms of where your product is performing best and honestly, where it needs to be improved and how we can help with that.
Yeah, and I think that customer journey is really important, like you were talking about, because a lot of places just run an ad because they're trying to get a sale. First, it takes 7 to 10 times for somebody to see your information or to learn about your business, that awareness piece, before you even start targeting them with an ad. And then, once they've seen your business, and then we take them to an ad, and then it's a retargeting ad, or they make it through the system, and then we can see it. Okay, they made it 50% of the way through this form. All right, let's retarget them with this. And that's what I love is it really is that overall analytic piece that we take, and our team, when we sit on these team meetings that we have with everybody at Mindhyv Marketing, and we're like, why is this not performing? I love watching us make something work, that wasn't working for a client before.
Yeah, and you were talking about customer avatars earlier, right? So I think one of the really cool things that Mindhyv is able to do is whether you're an established business or business that's starting out, what we do is gather the data on your existing or future clients, and we start to narrow and build profiles on similar type of clients. And then we target that audience with appropriate and well-managed and well-designed ads so that the customer journey for those individuals is well thought out. And what this does is, as we start to narrow down what the audience is for your particular product or service, and as we start to narrow down how to advertise for them, what that does is it increases the conversion rate, which in turn increases your ROI. And I think where a lot of companies fail to execute properly is building those profiles and understanding what their client base is like. And I think what Mindhyv does with our team is we really do focus on, okay, well, here's what your client base looks like. This is what your niche is. This is how we should approach this type of advertising to them based off of whatever it is you're selling. Because some things may need to be a particular way. Maybe it's voiceover videos, right? Or maybe it's podcasts, or maybe it's branding that needs to be established. These types of things we start to analyze, and then that helps narrow down and be much more effective in the targeting of your advertisements and how you actually view the customer journey on your site and how it's completed all the way through the tracking of that customer, follow-ups, and then the loyalty piece that's built in. All of that contributes to us just being able to make the businesses much more effective in terms of selling their product.
Yeah, and you just made a really good point of makes that business effective. And a lot of people are doing a lot of work and they're not seeing the effectiveness. If you start doing certain things effective for your business, it gives you back that time with a better ROI. So you're not only making more money, but you're also getting back more time to be able to whatever it is you need to do for your business. And that's what we love to see.
Yeah. And then in terms of cost, as you become more efficient with your processes, with your CRM, with your advertisement, the less you're actually spending per customer in order to get those sales. And so I think that's what's a great thing about how we do business is with our clients is we help them narrow all that down. We find those holes or those inefficiencies and we plug those holes and we eliminate those inefficiencies. And the platform that Mindhyv has is fantastic for this. It's absolutely fantastic because you can do anything from, oh my goodness, we're spending so much time taking phone calls. Well, we've got a system that automates that, right? We can gather more data. We can get clients to give more information about what they need, right? Whether you're there or not. We can direct phone calls even within the platform. The entire platform is completely customizable in terms of automation. And our experts with this platform are able to work with you to be able to make it so that your systems are effective. And that's really what it comes down to. Systems are huge. And I think a lot of businesses don't understand that by adding in a little piece of software like Mindhyv CRM, they can build in systems that buy themselves time.
Yeah.
And gain more clients.
And you know, I'm when it comes to appointments for myself, I always forget I have an appointment. And one of my favorite systems that we have inside of Mindhyv marketing software is being able to have an automated text message system that follows up with a customer that says, hey, don't reminder, you have an appointment in 1 day. You know, hey, you have an appointment in 12 hours. And it's shooting out this text reminder. And then you know what? After everything goes through, it's, hey, thank you for coming through text message. Don't forget to do a Google review. And then, hey, let's reschedule. You know, and you can set the times up. You can make it as detailed as you want it to be. And I love that system because, you know, it's without you having to do a thing, you've just nurtured that customer to another appointment or another service or something like that you need.
Yeah, and I think one of the great things about the automation on the platform is you can do it not just with like phone calls and AI and text messages and chat, but you can do things like set up templatized contracts so that when you're ready to close on that sale, it's seamless. You don't have to worry about, well, now I need to go into some sort of a word editor or text editor and build out some sort of complicated contract. Those can be templatized and automatically sent to customers and then follow up with them if you need to, so that you can actually close on that sale. Yep. And so the closing rates for different types of services and products jump through the roof because the amount of time that you would take to actually send those types of things out normally is reduced drastically through our platform.
Yeah. And you know, those things are like, it's just so amazing that how many different services we can offer inside of our platform. And then I was talking about the text messages. You can also go in and from our system, you just sit down and type and text back that customer yourself if there's questions that come through. But you can also have Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger. You can have all these things up and you just set up the computer and you can reply to specific questions. You are able to respond instead of being on a phone actually texting. You're doing it from our platform that's integrated with those softwares. And then, you know, having the various things like contracts and, you know, being able to make all these templates, it just saves so much time.
And I think one of the other really cool things that the platform is able to do is we can train the AI on your business. And so, again, it's like having additional employees that are always there working for you that knows everything about your business and can answer the critical questions that customers have. So with AI integrated into your business system, you are able to do so much more and be available for so many more people. I mean, think about the amount of calls that you've missed in other businesses that you've owned or worked for just because of the hours, right? You get a voicemail the next morning and, okay, well, I have to listen to the voicemail 5 times because I got to figure out what they were trying to get after. Well, with the Mindhyv platform, all that's tracked. Whether it's through text message, voice, or email or whatever, our AI systems are able to track that kind of information and then route that information to the appropriate person so that they can effectively engage with the client on the other end.
Yeah, our software with AI equals efficiency.
Absolutely. That was a good one.